This week, the HPT crowns a new champion from the Ameristar Casino Hotel in East Chicago. Our new Windy City home blew in a prize pool worth over $771,000. 538 players joined us on day one, and now 5 players remain. Aaron Massey is looking for his first HPT championship after getting so close with a second-place finish earlier this season. Stan Jablonski made history by making his 5th final table here at Ameristar, but has yet to win the elusive HPT championship. Will our new HPT champion be one of the game's hottest young stars, the crafty, experienced semi-pro? Or will it be one of the other talented players making their first HPT final table? Only one way to find out. Let's play some poker.
This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face, you with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game, talk trash all you want. To me it's all the same, you won't leave with much when you come in second place. I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack. Gonna cry to your mama cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello, my friends, and welcome again to the HPT. This week, we crowned a champion from our newest home in the Chicagoland area here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel in East Chicago, Indiana. I'm Fred Bevel, she's Maria Ho, and do me a favor, get your snacks ready, get your drinks next to you, and snuggle in on the couch because we have an instant classic on our hands, and we haven't even crowned a champion yet.
As always, we started with our final 9, and now we continue the road to the championship with 5 players remaining. Headlining this table is one of our game's up-and-coming stars, Aaron Massey, and HPT favorite, Stan Jablonski.
Aaron has been cruising as our chip leader since this final table started, and Stan has been on the other side of that spectrum. He started as the short stack at this final table, and he's pretty much stayed there. In fact, he just crossed the 1 million chip mark for the first time. Maria, we've seen a lot of great poker being played so far.
2 opposite tails and 2 opposite strategies thus far at this final table. Aaron has earned the luxury of playing big stack poker. Stan, however, has been playing an excellent short stack strategy by picking his spots, playing his position, and maybe most importantly, avoiding Aaron. Patience has served Stan well, and if he starts getting on a rush and hitting hands, look out.
Well, Maria, you know, I know, everybody watching knows that momentum can swing anybody's way on a single hand. Let's take a second to meet some of the players at this week's final table.
Mike Mustafa from Orland Park, Illinois, and I play poker.
Hi, my name's James Richardson. I actually go by Larry. Reside in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I'm a semi-retired sales manager, hoping not to have to go back to work.
My name is Michael Vanderwood. I'm from Crown Point, Indiana. I'm in commercial real estate development, and I'm an entrepreneur. It's important to me is what the trophy on my mantle would be. I've done pretty well for myself in business, and I'm really looking forward to having that trophy sitting next to my poker room. You know, I'm playing against some really tough competitors. I know a couple of the pros that are here. I've played against them before. I got to stick to my strategy, play my game, and just do my thing.
The HPT, I love it because it gives me a chance to chase a dream that I've always had to kind of play in bigger tournaments.
Now let's take a quick look at the money on the line, the starting chip counts, then get right to the action.
First place finisher is not only going to become our next HPT champion and take home that coveted title, but they're also going to walk away with $177,000 and more.
A lot of money yet to be awarded at this final table. Maria, it's all been Aaron Massey so far. Here are the updated chip counts.
Aaron Massey is over 2 times the chip stack of his next opponent. He's got 8.5 million to Mike Mustafa's 3 million. Michael Vanderwood is our short stack here, though, with 960,000.
Back to the final table we go, where blinds are remaining at 40 and 80,000 with a 10,000 chip ante. Continuing 5-handed here on our way to our newest HPT champion from the Ameristar Casino Hotel here in East Chicago, Indiana.
Stan's gonna fold deuces. I don't know if I like folding deuces here 5-handed. I think you can pretty much open any pair short-handed.
Larry now started this final table as maybe one of the tighter players, but he's really opened his range and started splashing around as players have been eliminated from this table.
And so far, it's worked out for him. Aaron looks down at ace 6 of diamonds from the small blind. And I think he's thinking, do I want to 3-bet here? Do I want to flat him? And I think Aaron's decision here to re-raise to 600,000 is because he has seen Larry shown a willingness to raise and 3-bet without necessarily a good hand. But Michael wakes up with jacks in the big blind, and he's got 14 big blinds. So this is definitely the only move for him. Larry's going to obviously fold to a 4-bet with ace 7 suited. And Aaron knows that he's priced into call, and he doesn't really love the spot that he's in. And now Larry gets to see what Aaron's 3-betting him with as well.
So Aaron hoping to find an ace on this board here to outflop Michael's pocket jacks. Michael hoping, obviously, that the hand holds through and he can score a double up that would be worth just over $2.5 million in chips.
The flop is king, king 3, rainbow. So now Aaron is looking for an ace. I think he might have just asked Larry if he folded an ace. Well, either way, the answer is yes. Aaron's got 2 aces left in the deck here.
Right on the rail.
Turn is the 5 of hearts. So again, Aaron bricks the board. He needs to find an ace now to suck out here. Aaron not used to getting it in with the worst of it.
But sometimes that's what you got to do. This time it doesn't work out for Aaron, though, as Michael rivers a boat with the jack. He's going to double up, and of course he's pleased because the difference between 5th and 4th place is over $21,000. So he doesn't want to be the next guy out.
A little over $2.5 million in chips is going to help the cause.
Aaron Massey is positioning himself as the player to be at this final table. He has held the chip lead this entire time. Let's see if he's going to hang on until the end. Come back for more poker from Ameristar, East Chicago.
And welcome back to the HPT. This week coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Hotel, East Chicago. Only 5 players remain. They all want to be our new HPT champion, but only one can take home the title and the cash. Let's head back in the poker room and pick up the action.
Aaron Massey is getting closer and closer to taking this wire to wire. He's got 7.3 million and has been our chip leader throughout this final table. Mike Mustafa, though, is also very steadily holding on to that second spot. Stan Jablonski not so short anymore. He's got almost 20 big blinds, and Michael Vanderwood is our short stack with 15 big blinds.
You can see in the swing stack percentage, Aaron has lost a lot, but still has a commanding chip lead. The biggest beneficiary since we last checked the chip counts is Larry Richardson. He's gained just under 800,000 since we last checked in. Blinds are now even higher, going up to 50 and 100,000 with a 10,000 chip ante. Larry has a big hand with ace king.
Larry raises it to 230,000 with ace king offsuit. Larry is a little unpredictable to these players, I think, so you never know what he has.
Stan Jablonski looks down at pocket nines, and he is going to go all in, and Larry quickly makes the call, so the hands are tabled. Stan's going to see he's ahead, but my goodness, let me borrow a quarter. You call it, heads or tails?
I'm going to go tails.
All right, we're hoping that Stan and his pocket nines stay true here. It's just our way. We root for the short stack.
If Larry were to win this pot, though, he would put himself in really good position to give Aaron a run for his money for the top spot.
Stan Jablonski looking to get the most chips he's had in this tournament, just under 3 million in the pot right now. Here comes the flop.
The flop is 10-5-4, a couple of clubs, so Stan's nines still best. Larry's looking for running clubs, an ace or a king.
You can see on the rail, Stan has his wife and HPT favorite Craig Casino and his wife, along with Steve Fox. Everybody interested in Stan's hand here. The turn is the queen of hearts. So far, so good, but Larry does pick up a gut shot straight draw. So Stan needs to fade an ace, a king, or a jack for the double up.
The river's the three of spades, and for the third time this final table, Stan Jablonski is going to double up, stay alive, and keep himself in contention for what would be his first HPT win.
Patience in a poker tournament. I think Stan has exemplified that. Short stack the entire time, and now he's sitting with just under $3 million. Of the 538 players that joined us for day one, we thought, who better to highlight than NBA star Shawn Marion? Was playing for the Dallas Mavericks, now for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Our own Maria Ho sat down with Mr. Marion to get his thoughts on the difference between the poker felt and the NBA court.
I know you play poker a lot when you have time, but lately you've been really busy. So how does it feel to get back on the felt?
It actually feels good. I think, when you start getting the feel for reading guys and the players and stuff, and just feel comfortable, relax, especially when you start getting some cards, you don't get some cards, you get a feel for things and how to, say put some pressure on somebody here and there. But depending on your position on your table, sometimes you can be more aggressive than less aggressive.
Well, I think that if anybody knows how to put pressure on people, it's you. So all you have to do is take your competitive edge from the basketball court and take it to the poker.
The hand, you be competitive, but you don't want to give it up, and you gotta give in because you know you beat. So there's certain hands you don't want to give up, but certain hands you do want to just fight to the end.
So is it safe to say you're less aggressive when you play poker than you are when you're on the court?
Yeah, got to be. You got to pick and choose your moments. At certain times you can really knuckle down, be really full tilt and go crazy in, but sometimes you got to be back, stand back and be reserved, especially in tournament, because you can go all in and be done immediately. Versus a cash game. Sometimes in a cash game you can if you got the money to buy back in, you can buy back in immediately.
Well, good to see you here at HPT Ameristar, and we hope to see you at another HPT soon.
Hey, HPT, congratulations on 10 great years. Let's go for another 10.
Welcome back to the HPT with Maria Ho. I'm Fred Bevel, and if you're like we were, you couldn't wait for that commercial break to end. We've got a fun final table with $177,000 waiting for one of these players. Five-handed poker begins now. Aaron Massey holding strong in the top spot, but Stan Jablonski has come from being a short stack pretty much all of this final table to now being second in chips. He's got 3.3 million. Mike Mustafa has chipped down all the way to 21 big blinds. And you can see in these swing stacks to the right of your screen, Jablonski up over 1.8 million since we last checked in. And Maria, you just said it, Mustafa down just under 1.3 and Larry down just under 1.7. Blinds continuing at this final table at 50 and 100,000 with a 10,000 chip ante. Let's talk about Stan for a second, Maria. An example of how patience pays off at a poker table. Short stack the entire time. Now he's second in chips. There's definitely a combination of being patient and knowing how to play the short stack, knowing when to take a stand, and also a little luck with your hands holding up, and also getting some good hands when you really need it. Definitely someone to look at and learn from. Mike raises the button with pocket eights, and Aaron calls from the big blind with queen jack offsuit. Flop is a couple of deuces and a queen with two clubs, so Aaron has outflopped Mike's pocket eights by hitting the queen. And Mike staging the expected continuation bet makes it $225,000. Maria, in poker, when you get a pre-flop raiser, the continuation bet is so expected. A lot of times players just sit and waiting on it, aren't they? Yes, but there are certain board textures where you should check back, and this isn't one of them for Mike, especially because his eights could very likely still be the best hand, and I would imagine that Aaron's just gonna call here. Aaron actually chooses to raise here, makes it $465,000.
Call.
Mike goes all in. Aaron quickly makes the call, and my goodness, Mike's tournament life now at risk with pocket eights. And by the look of it, Mike sees the bad news. He needs one of two eights in order to survive. He went from being second in chips to being in this position where he got it all in behind. The return is the 10 of hearts. No help to Mike. Aaron way ahead in the hand, but doesn't look very comfortable. Needs to fade two more eights. And you can see Mike already halfway off the set, sitting in the camera well right now. Here comes the river. It's the 6 of diamonds, and the fate is sealed for Mike Mustafa. He is going to leave us in 5th place, cashing for over $37,000 for his good play this weekend.
Mike's play definitely impressed me at this final table, but I think he made a misstep or two, and now he's going to have to go home and think about what he would have done differently.
Congratulations on your fine run. Back to poker here. It is Mike Vanderwood who's going to raise it up with ace-8 offsuit. Now we go over to Stan Jablonski. King-9, not good enough. So now over to Larry Richardson now. Missed what Larry was holding, but he likes it enough to throw out a bet here. He's going to make the call with pocket 3s.
Aaron looks down at King-Queen from the big blind and also calls. 3-way to the flop. Larry's going to be first to act. King, Queen, 10, a rainbow.
And that's why you play the hand right there, my friend. 2 pair for Aaron Massey.
And I like this. Aaron's going to lead into Michael here. That's $150,000. And like I said, you will notice from Aaron Massey, he does like these small bet sizes. And it's like what I said. A lot of times when you donk bet, people sense weakness, but that's why it's important to donk bet and switch it up when you're actually strong. You get Michael to raise you here with just a gut shot to Broadway, and Aaron quickly re-raises to 2.35 million. Obviously just looking to get it in here. There's a lot of turn cards that could hurt his hand, and he's basically saying to Michael, if you have something you want to go with, let's just do it right here and right now.
Decision on Mr. Vanderwood. And he is going to choose wisely. He's going to surrender the hand. And Aaron Massey continues to stack chips as we are shorthanded, grinding our way to a champion. That man searching for redemption.
I'm all in.
Larry moves all in from the cutoff with Jack 10 and 9 big blinds. Fine play there. Stan, though, wakes up with ace king here in the big blind and obviously calls. And for once, Stan is on the other side of things. It's not his tournament life on the line anymore. It is Larry's. And Stan has a chance to eliminate Larry in 4th place and get them down to 3-handed.
How about 2 pair for you plus a queen?
You're a sick man. That's all I can say. Very sick man.
To give you.
Stan hoping for a safe board here. Larry hoping to catch a little bit of lady luck again at this final table. Here comes the flop.
Flop is ace 9-8. That keeps things interesting. Stan's flop top pair with a king kicker, but of course, it's never easy. Larry's got an open-ended straight draw.
Poker can be so evil sometimes. You need to have steady nerves for this game. On to the turn we go.
Turn pairs the 8. So Larry's looking for a queen or a 7 on the river in order to double up.
Stan, of course, hoping for any other card but the queen or the 7 to eliminate Larry and stack a little under 2 million.
Go ahead and turn the queen up.
Here it comes.
The river is the 10 of clubs. That's not good enough for Larry to double up here, and Stan is going to knock out Larry Richardson in 4th place. He's going to take home $50,000 and change.
Larry considering taking the money he wins at this event and going on a card cruise. Well, Larry, check out cardplayercruises.com. We'll see you on the Oasis of the Seas with our friends at Card Player Cruises. Maria and I will be there. Look for me in the poker room. Look for Maria on the Lido deck.
Another elimination here at our nationally televised HPT final table, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. But before we do that, I want to remind you to check out our webpage at hptpoker.com. Pick an event that'll work for you, and who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash, and you'll be sitting at this nationally televised final table. Don't go too far. More exciting HPT action is right around the corner. And welcome back to the HPT, coming to you this week from the Ameristar Casino Hotel, East Chicago. Only 3 players remain, and 1 will be our new HPT champion. Let's head back inside of the poker room and pick up the action.
Aaron Massey, just a massive stranglehold on the top spot. 3 players remaining. He's got over 10 million in chips. That's 64% of the chips in play. Stan Jablonski has 4.8 million, and Michael Vanderwood with 10 big blinds, struggling to stay in the hunt.
Stan Jablonski spent most of day 2 as the short stack, started this final table as the short stack, and now he's sitting with 48 big blinds. A long way to go to catch Aaron Massey, but he is on the right side of the tracks to do it. This will be our first hand three-handed, and Stan Jablonski is on the button in three-handed poker. That makes you under the gun pre-flop. He's going to fold 8-5. Aaron is going to raise from the small blind with Jack-9.
And with King 7, he decides blind versus blind, even though he only has 10 big blinds, that he's just going to call here.
Flop is Jack-9-10, so Aaron hits 2-pair. Aaron Massey continues to hit these boards. He's flopped 2-pair. Michael has a double-gutted straight draw.
I'm all in.
Call.
And he does the right thing by moving all in. I think with a double gut shot, you have to go with it. Unfortunately, he's not in as good of a shape as he could be. He could have also had an overcard possibly with the king, but because Aaron flopped 2-pair, Michael's got a 30% chance to win this pot.
Double belly buster against two.
Double gutter.
Hearts, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell you.
The modern day players call Michael's hand the double gut shot. The old school players like Doyle Brunson call it a double belly buster draw.
Show me a pretty lady.
The turn is another jack.
Brutal. And now Michael's drawing dead, and he is going to be our third place finisher. The river is just for show, and now Michael Vanderwood from Indiana is going to take home just under $72,000. He definitely stuck around long enough at this final table for his daughter to see plenty of him. Great payday for him, and there's a nice hug and a kiss from his wife Barbara, who he's been married to for 16 years. Congratulations, Michael.
16 years, my goodness. In California, you married more than 2 years. People go, dude, what's your secret? 16 years, very impressive. We are now heads up. Poker is getting more pricey to play. Blinds are now 60 and 120,000 with a 15,000 chip ante. Aaron Massey. With the button, you are under the gun heads up. He looked down at 4-6 offsuit, and he is going to raise it to 260,000. Maria, for those of us that may not know as much as you do about poker, explain why heads up is so much more aggressive. We're seeing Aaron raise it up here with 4-6 offsuit.
Well, you know, when you're playing a full ring game and you have 8 players to get through when you open a pot, you have to kind of tighten up your range a little bit because the odds of other players picking up a hand behind you just increases. But when it's heads up, you know there's only one opponent. You have to take advantage anytime you have the button.
So the flop runs out 9-7-9, which misses both of these players. Aaron is the pre-flop aggressor, and he is going to continuation bet to 240,000.
Stan's got a gut shot here, though, and he's trying to think if he can go for this.
Stan, a very analytical guy. He's a businessman, so math very easy to him. He'll always calculate the odds. And in this time, the odds told him to go ahead and call. The turn is the ace of clubs. Stan quickly checks. Aaron checks back.
And now I think Stan's going to take this opportunity to bet the river. He's not sure if he could win at showdown with just Jack 8. And this would be a good spot for Stan to bet the river here, but Aaron actually makes a pair on the river. And now Aaron's just deciding if he wants to call here. He could beat busted straight draws from the flop, but other than that, there weren't very many draws.
So serious now, Aaron.
I'm trying to figure out what I beat. Tough to find something that I'm beating.
I'm not going to be like the kid and take the cards and show them to the audience, so. Well, I'd say he's not a kid anymore, that other guy, right? Yeah, especially with you there.
Stan?
Yes.
You want me to call you, don't you?
And you know, Stan's a very experienced player, and like you said, they know each other's game very well. But if they didn't, I don't know if I would table talk quite as much as Stan does. I think sometimes that gives information away. But these two players seem fairly comfortable with each other, so maybe this table talk is actually going to help Stan.
Good hand.
He does get Aaron to lay down the best hand, and Maria, you can see the dynamic between these two guys. They like each other. I mean, they're going for each other's throat, but they like each other.
What is that?
Jackass.
Oh, it's a bluff. Good hand.
And this is the kind of vibe I like to see in heads-up play, too. I think table banter can be so interesting, and it adds a whole nother dimension. More of this exciting heads-up match when we come back from Ameristar Casino Hotel in East Chicago.
From the Ameristar Casino Hotel here in East Chicago, Indiana, we welcome you back to the HPT. A great final table unfolding, a lot of drama, a lot of money on the line. Let's check the updated chip counts and get right to the action.
Aaron Massey just under 11.5 million, which is 96 big blinds. Stan Jablonski has 4.7 million, and with 39 big blinds, don't count him out. That is plenty of play left here. Heads up.
You can see the money there in the middle of the table waiting for one of these two gentlemen. Over 177,000 sitting right there along with our championship trophy.
Not all of them.
Blinds continuing at 60 and 120,000 with a 15,000 chip ante. When the HPT main event starts, everybody gets 30,000 in chips, and the blinds begin at 5,100 with no ante. So very deep structure designed by our good friend Daniel Negreanu.
Daniel did such a good job that we have a lot of late nights at the final table. So thank you, but no thank you, Daniel. I don't know.
Right? I hear you.
No, we are about the players here at the HPT, and we enjoy giving these players a lot of play, bang for their buck. So come on down.
And getting Daniel to make the structure was as simple as saying, hey, Daniel, will you do me a favor and make our structure? I mean, he really wants to give back to the game. He knows what the HPT is about, and he really put a lot of time and energy into it. We can't thank him enough.
And that's why he's been recently inducted to the Poker Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Daniel.
This hand has gotten a little interesting. Aaron has bottom pair, and he's going to fire 280,000. Stan has just ace high and is crushed in this hand. But that's not making Stan go anywhere. He's going to float him here on the flop.
I think Stan also thinks that ace high could be best. And like you said, if these two players have had a lot of prior experience playing against each other, then Stan knows that Aaron thinks Stan is a sticky player and probably isn't going to try to bluff him too often.
Well, Stan got the card he wanted, which was a spade on the turn. So now he has turned the nut flush draw. The last thing Stan wants to see is an ace, though.
And because of that, and because of Aaron's smallish bet sizes, I think he's going to stick around and see a river with his draw. But, you know, Aaron's switching things up. He's betting over $500,000 here on the turn.
And you can see Stan kind of sit up a little bit in his chair and get a thinking look on his face. He's going to try to weigh the odds and see if it's worth chasing the draw. And I like that he's stacking chips. I think this is absolutely worth chasing the draw, given the chip differential between these two players. Stan's going to have to gamble a little bit.
But I think if Stan wants to gamble, maybe he could have tried to turn his hand into a semi-bluff. But, you know, it just really depends on what you think Aaron has. The river pairs the king. And I think if Aaron checks it to Stan, Stan's going to be able to take this pot away from him.
And the fun thing with these two players is they both know that. So Aaron is checking. Now Stan's wondering, if I bet, can I win? Or is Aaron checking because he knows I'm going to bet and he's going to raise? I just love it when two guys who know each other are playing each other heads up. Stan is going to check back. He's not going to risk the chips, and they're both going to table the hand. And Stan probably sees that maybe a river bet would have won in the pot. One of my favorite final tables to date in the history of the HPT, and now also time for one of my favorite features as well. It's a Poker Life featuring legendary poker player Doyle Texas Dolly Brunson. Now, Doyle spent most of his time living in Texas. That's where he cut his teeth in the game of poker. Then he moved to Las Vegas, where he met a family that he still has close ties with to this day. Here's a tale of Doyle telling us about how he met the Binion family.
I met the Binion family at the Gamblers Convention in Reno. Benny and Jack and Ted came up, and you know, they were from Texas, you know, so I felt an immediate bond with them, and I met Benny and Jack, and I think I went to dinner with them, and you know, they're just so down to earth and just seemed like such good people, which come to find out they were. And that was my first contact with them, and then I moved here in '73, and Jack was running the casino, but he'd never really done any outside gambling. And he and I got to playing a little golf together, and we got to talking about different things, and we started betting sports together. We played golf together. We made some golf trips where we were gambling real high, and he liked it, and you know, we just became good friends immediately, and we've been best friends ever since like 1974. I mean, he's just one terrific guy, and his dad was kind of my mentor. I sit in the booth and listen to Benny tell all those tales about what happened back in Texas, you know, and he was just had so much street smart about him, and he just he could read people better than anybody I've ever seen, and I just is almost like a dad to me, and Jack was almost like a brother to me, and to this day we still talk every time he's here, and we go to lunch regularly, and he's just the best friend that a man could have.
Us poker players owe a lot to the Binion family and everything that they've done for poker. There's going to be a lot more action at this final table. We're very close to crowning our next HPT champion from Ameristar Casino Hotel in East Chicago.
And welcome back to the HPT, this week coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Hotel, East Chicago. We're finally heads up. 2 players remain out of this enormous field, and only one will go home as our newest HPT champion. Let's head back in the poker room and pick up the action.
Aaron Massey has about a 3-1 chip lead over Stan Jablonski, $12.1 million to about $4 million. But Stan is not one to give up easily, believe me.
Blinds continuing at this final table at 60 and 120,000 with a 15,000 chip ante. Aaron Massey on the button, which will make him under the gun here pre-flop.
And I like seeing that they are having a good old time, even though they're playing for so much money. 177,000 for first place. 108,000 for second, so no losers here regardless of what happens.
They both respect each other's game. They respect each other as people. It's just big, happy hugs here at the East Chicago Ameristar as we battle for 177,000 and the championship. Here comes the flop. It is 7-10 for Rainbow. So Aaron once again nails the board, hitting 2-pair with 7-4. Stan checks, Aaron checks back. He's going to slow play the 2-pair, and why not? And look at this. Now it's another full house. Maria, by my math, that is 3 full houses for Aaron Massey at this final table.
And that sure has helped him get to this chip lead, among other things, though. Stan quickly calls Aaron's bet. And the river is the ace of spades, and that's bad for Stan because now Stan thinks he probably has the best hand, meaning he's going to call another river bet here, most likely. And Aaron all the while sitting on a boat here, once again thinking how much can he extract from Stan.
Aaron has done the math in his head, and he has bet 425,000.
Want me to call?
And Maria, I think you're right. There's no way Stan can get away from this after rivering top pair.
For me or what?
I don't think so.
Wait a minute. It didn't really come out all the way. You got a little frog in there or what? I don't know. I have an ace.
Stan does make the call, and Aaron's going to table the full house.
And a big pot going Aaron's way.
It's the only card I can pay you with.
To the tune of just under 1.8 million.
Nice, Aaron.
Aaron continuing to chip away at Stan Jablonski. I think if this was any other heads-up match, any other player besides Stan Jablonski, Aaron would be playing a completely different style right now. But he knows he has to step cautiously around Mr. Jablonski. And likewise, Stan knows he can't give Aaron any wiggle room.
That's all I got right now.
It's great to watch when 2 players know that they can't really run the other one over because like you've been seeing, we get a lot more flops, we get more play. We get to see them interact with each other a lot more.
The heads-up juggernaut continues. Stan Jablonski hoping to catch a hand and double up through Aaron. Maria, that would make things extremely interesting.
Both Stan and Aaron looking for their first HPT title here.
Aaron going to make it 260,000 with 7-4.
Getting sidetracked with this trivia. I mean,
we're having so much fun because you're winning.
How much is it? 260. Why don't you change it to like 240 or something? Let me see what I have.
I should consider it, actually.
You should. Just, you know, in the spirit of the game. Oh, yeah, okay. Do what?
What do you think, man?
Stan calls with 9-6 suited.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So yet another flop. Here we go.
The flop is King 8-8 Rainbow.
I check.
So neither player has connected, but obviously Aaron does have the betting lead, so probably going to take this pot down with not too much resistance from Stan.
225,000 is the bet from Aaron. Stan with no pair, no draw. The only reason he'd be calling this is to make a play downstream in the hand. But here's something I didn't expect.
Yeah, Stan decides to just make it a little more than a min raise here. That's a good play. I like it because a lot of times good players will fast play these kinds of board textures. So I kind of like what Stan's trying to represent here. But Aaron doesn't look like he's ready to fall for it quite yet.
Stan definitely shifting gears on this hand. He's been check calling out of position for most of heads up here. Here he decides to raise it up a little bit.
And Aaron's going to up the ante by re-raising to 845,000.
All right, well, now we just got a game of chicken going on right now. Who is going to blink first? Aaron has 3-bet. Let's see if Stan will 4-bet.
All right.
And Stan decides that he wants to give this one up.
And Aaron's going to show the 7-4. What would make most players a little salty makes Stan Jablonski laugh.
Gotta love this heads-up match between these two fun and friendly players.
Relentless, relentless, relentless. No.
This was a cash game. I just slammed it all in.
Yeah, but you have, as in a cash game, you have endless cash.
Well, of course.
I don't have endless
Not
cash.
endless. There's some end, right? And then there's always an end.
I am loving watching the playfulness and the friendliness of this heads-up match between Aaron and Stan. More poker when we come back.
From the Ameristar Casino Hotel here in East Chicago, Indiana, we have gotten to the penultimate moment on our way to a championship. We are heads up and an unlikely duo. Aaron Massey probably expected this. He's been the chip leader the whole time, but Stan Jablonski lived in the short stack realm almost this entire final table, and now he's a contender. Let's check the updated chip count.
Aaron Massey trying to close the door on Stan Jablonski, and now with the blinds going up and Stan losing a few small pots, Stan is down to 24 big blinds. He's starting to enter the danger zone. He's not quite there yet, but he needs a lot to recover.
The blinds are now 80 and 160,000 with a 20,000 chip ante. Stan Jablonski hoping to catch a hand. Emergency aces would be good right about now.
Stan looks down at 10-4, just limps the button. And this is a big hand, whether you're heads up or not. Ace-queen suited for Aaron. No doubt he's going to raise.
And he makes it a big raise, makes it 410,000. So Stan now deliberating $250,000 to call with 10-4 offsuit. Maria, why not just fold this hand? What's Stan doing here?
I don't think I really like this. I think it's fine to limp the button with a wide range, but there's real no reason to call a raise here with 10-4. The flop is king 5-5, 2 hearts, so Aaron still has the best of it.
Neither player has hit a pair yet, though, and Aaron makes the continuation bet to 380,000. This is where I got to think Stan just goes away, but it looks like Stan's got a plan here. He is not just calling and hoping he hits a 10 or a 4. He's got a plan. And he's not calling, Maria. He's raising it, makes it 900,000.
And so I think he's trying to make it look like he limped from the button with a big hand and then was slow playing it to Aaron's raise. But like you said, it must be their dynamic and them knowing each other's game so well, because Aaron decides, I don't believe you, Stan. I'm going all in. There you go. It's in your face now, and Stan has to fold.
Great poker being played here, heads up. My goodness, I'm learning a lot just from watching these two guys. You throw your color analysis in with it, Maria. I'm going to get a degree by the end of this show.
1% for each turn.
Stands down to about 20 big blinds now. They've been playing heads up for quite a while. There's been a lot of interesting poker played so far. Stan looks down at queen deuce offsuit and decides to raise from the button. And Aaron has king jack offsuit, and he's just going to call. Flop his king jack 10 rainbow, so probably gonna get some fireworks here. Aaron has 2 pair. Stan has an open-ended straight draw.
This is the kind of hand I was just talking about. Worlds are about to collide here. If Stan can somehow hit the straight, we got a whole new game here. Otherwise, we're looking at our newest HPT champion.
Stan bets 300K. Aaron check raises. Stan goes all in, and Aaron quickly calls. And there you go. Stan is looking for an ace or a 9. Otherwise, Aaron is going to be our newest HPT champion and take down his first HPT title.
So both players have tabled their hands, and they know what is up. Stan shakes Aaron's hand, and good luck. Aaron looking like he's just as nervous as an expectant father, waiting for the turn and the river card. He is on the doorstep of his first HPT championship. Stan with his beautiful wife Connie, Alan Kessler behind her, sweating the action.
Deuce of hearts. So open ender here for the straight for Stan, looking for an ace.
Ace of diamonds. Or 9. Or 9.
No matter what, you have to give it up for both of these players for giving us such a fun heads-up match to watch. And the turn is the King of Hearts, and Aaron just has him drawing dead. Aaron's boated up 4 times now this final table. This one catapulting him as our newest HPT champion.
Stan Jablonski. Most of day 2 is the short stack. Most of this entire final table is the short stack. Grinds his way to a 6-figure second place. But there is the man right there, our newest HPT champion, Aaron Massey.
Good job, Aaron.
Just another notch on Aaron's belt there. He's been having a great year. And now with this HPT title, he's taken over a commanding lead in our HPT Player of the Year race.
One word for this final table sums it up for me. Amazing. Wow, what fun action we saw here. What a great heads-up dynamic. Aaron Massey, wire to wire. But I think you got to throw big props to Stan Jablonski. He spent most of this final table as the short stack, but his talented play and patience got him to second place. He's standing by with James Larson.
All right, thanks so much, guys. I am joined with our friend Stan Jablonski. Stan, you always wanted to get to this opportunity. You were heads up for the title. You go home second place, but how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I started the day in 9th place, and, you know, just to fight through everybody and get to second here was great. Aaron's a great player, and, you know, he had me like 4-1 or 3-1 heads up, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was great.
How much fun was this? You've got Connie right behind you, cheering you on. Second place. How much fun was this for you, Stan?
It was just a blast. I enjoyed every minute, and great people here at the property, and we all had a great time. Everybody was here had a great time.
All right, well, you're going home with another nice payday, your 5th final table, but how does it feel to cash for over $100,000 here in one event on the HPT?
100,000, really?
Yeah, over 100.
Wow. Oh, I thought he got the 100. Oh,
he's getting 177.
No, it's great.
All right, well, I just want to say personally, Stan, he's a great guy. He's a friend of ours. Give him a round of applause.
All right, thank you.
And I'll make a prediction, Stan. I know you're going to get back to another final table.
I'll be here.
You play almost 100% of our events, and I got a feeling you'll be back.
All right, thanks, James. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Stan Jablonski going out in second place with over $100,000. Freddie and Maria, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, James Larson. Congratulations again to Stan. I know we'll see Stan at a final table again. The night is Aaron Massey's wire to wire. Maria, that's pretty special. Not to just win it, but wire to wire. He's standing by with James Larson to talk about his first HPT championship.
All right, Aaron, I've got so many questions for you, but first, let's just let this sink in a little bit. You were in this place a year ago. You got second. Now you are the champion. This is yours. All of this is yours. And, of course, that's yours, too. What's going through your mind?
This is an incredible feeling. I've been wanting to win a major title in Chicago for a long time, and this is just like, I don't have any words to say how I'm really feeling right now. It's really validating after coming back, after getting second last year to a great player. I really wanted to win. And I remember, even though I won a lot of money, I was really, really disappointed, and I didn't know how I really felt, and I just wanted it so bad. And I just kept firing away until I finally won the title.
Bro, you have so much determination. You want to win every tournament, and that's what makes you a great poker player. But when did you realize that this title could be yours? When did you sit there and go, this could be my title and the money?
The day before I registered the tournament.
Because that's how a champion thinks. Now, before we let you go, you were heads up against Stan Jablonski. He's a great player. Talk about the heads up battle.
Man, he did not go down. He was fighting. He was showing me bluffs.
He was talking a lot, too.
Yeah. He was trying to do anything he could, man, and I really appreciated it. And we battled, and it made it that much sweeter for me to win because it really wasn't easy. and I just had to be relentless, and I had to just try to close it out, and he didn't go down, and finally I just, I was able to close it out, and I'm just really grateful.
Okay, before we go, these folks behind you, what do these people mean to you?
They mean everything to me. Thank you guys so much for coming. Every time I won a hand and you guys were there to cheer me on, it really, made me feel good, made me, help with my composure, and it just kept my momentum going, and probably couldn't have done it without you guys, so thank you.
I got to remind you one more time, Aaron Massey, and look into that camera. You are an HPT champion. How does that feel?
Feels amazing.
Over 177,000 and the trophy here in East Chicago, Indiana. We're going to have some fun. We're going to celebrate with him and the crew. Freddie and Maria, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks again, James, and congratulations one more time to Stan Jablonski and our newest champion, Aaron Massey. Maria, wow. I mean, wow. I would love to hear what you think about how this final table played when we got shorthanded and the heads-up dynamic.
I really thoroughly enjoyed commentating every bit of this final table. I think all of the players really played a style that I enjoyed watching. I'm sure the viewers did too. But in the end, the heads-up battle between Stan Jablonski and Aaron Massey, I mean, it was great. There was banter, it was friendly, it was fun, but they were both playing to win, and that's what I love to watch. And in the end, Aaron Massey came out ahead. He is our newest HPT champion, so congratulations to him.
Congratulations indeed. It was a lot of fun to watch. Those guys have respect for each other's game and each other as people. Now, do you think you have what it takes to sit at our HPT final table and play this caliber of poker? Well, I bet you do. Log on to hptpoker.com and find an event near you. Buy me a beer when you show up. For Maria Ho and James Larson, I'm Fred Bevel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the HPT.